Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese.
And I'm your co-host, Andria Carter.
And if you didn't know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and northern Kentucky area. And today we actually have two special guests with us. We have Chef Catrina Mills with us. How you doing, Chef?
I am well. We survived this blizzard that didn't happen, so I'm not complaining at all.
So true. And we also have Chef Liz Rogers with us. How you doing, Chef?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me.
No problem at all. And how are you doing today, Andrea?
I'm doing fine. I mean, I was waiting for this big blizzard that was going to come, anxiously waiting. I was in the store last night just picking up some creamer because that's all I needed from the store. And I saw the shelves are a little empty. And come to find out, all we got was rain.
Yeah, I know. It's a little slushy out there, but I'll take slushy over snow. So,
Yeah, but again, Mother Nature's always setting us up for something. So this might be the calm before the actual storm. So you just never know.
so true. So before we get to our special guest, we want to talk about some chocolate news. So, Andrea, take it away.
Well, I'm going to start off, and this is my fan moment. The Bengals won on Sunday.
Yes, they did. Such a good game.
Oh yes, it was. I mean, it was a good game. It was. I won't say it was a routing of the Bills, but I think it was a nice education on what the Bengals could be when they put their minds to it, and everything works. Offense worked, defense worked, their passing game worked, their throwing game worked, everything worked. And you just saw them just go down the field, or even how many times they blitzed the quarterback and no one barely touched Joe Burrows. When it works, they work. So I'm hoping to see what they do against Kansas City on Sunday at 6:30. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it should be excited. I'm gonna have my fingers crossed though. Hopefully they'll win.
Well,
I'm hoping.
Well, when we send out the newsletter and the paper, the headline is AFC Deja Vu. So hopefully it will be a total deja vu, so that we win again and go on to the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
So I'm just waiting to see and anxious. So that's one. Then I have to say the abortion right people cannot stop themselves. I mean, we go from a huge win. Now we're going in the opposite direction of how much more can women take and people opposed to what women need. Supporters of the abortion rights filed separate lawsuits today challenging two states' right to abortion pill restrictions. And I'm like, enough is enough. You've won one way, let something happen another way. It's personal, it's private. You don't even have to know about it when someone takes it. So why are you trying to stop this? But, then again, lawsuits are argued that the limits on the drugs in North Carolina and West Virginia run afoul of the federal authority and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So, these states, they're southern states. They're going to do what they're going to do, and they're either going to get their hands slapped or a judge is going to slap them. So we'll see about that. Next up, it's unfortunate that we're still dealing with mass shootings. I mean,
sad.
When is enough is enough? The first one, no, wait, I take that back. Well, the first one that we all heard about was a gunman who shot several people at a dance club, I believe.
Yeah.
It happened on Sunday way after the Bengals won their game.
Right.
But it was out in California. And the gunman, the suspected gunman, who killed 10 people, shot himself in a van.
Well, actually, that got bumped up to 11, unfortunately, because one of the victims died in the hospital. So
that's right. One did die. It's just unfortunate that again people are targeting our Asian American citizens like this.
Yeah, and the shooter was Asian American too, which is it's just really I don't know. It's just really strange. You usually don't hear about Asian Americans, being the shooters, which is, it's, I don't know. It's just strange because they're still trying to find a motive, and they don't have a motive yet.
And in the second mass gunman shooting in two agricultural businesses in Northern California, I believe that shooter is also Asian American as well.
Yes,
Who killed
yes,
7 people. So I don't know what's going on. People are disgruntled. But again, this was an older gentleman, a 67-year-old gentleman who did the
yeah,
shooting. And I think the other suspect, he was also another older gentleman,
yeah. He was.
72.
Yeah,
So maybe they're not liking the lifestyles or how they're, taking on a Western attributes, or who knows? We can only
yeah,
speculate what's going on in their mind. But they resolved to use a gun to resolve their issues than speaking up and speaking out and protesting. You don't see Black people shooting people all over the place. We're getting out, we're protesting, we're speaking up. We're, even though we do have our one-off every once in a while, for the most part, you don't see us committing mass shootings. But then again, we do have young people who pick up a gun and solve their issues with a gun instead of arguing and fighting, but not like this.
yeah,
So, which is unfortunate this has happened. So all I can say is, please, if you have an issue, work it out. Don't pick up a device that you can injure someone. 2, like the Black community, the Asian community has gone through a lot over this past year and a half.
yes,
Several mass shootings, both in California, then the ones I think last year in Atlanta.
yeah,
And I think we need to look at the Asian American Journalists Association for direction on how to best cover this and how it's affecting their community, and how can we report what's happening to their community, to our community, so we can be informed as well. So I'll be looking into that, and hopefully I can come up with something next week to talk about it, to see what they're putting out, to talk about their community, what's happening inside, because this is rare.
yeah,
Because we can't say racism or bigotry or white supremacy. It's another one of their community.
yeah.
So,
I just hope this isn't the new normal. I really don't. It's like, because it's just so sad, and this is happening just in January. I just hope this.
well,
I don't know.
it's happening January, and on top of that, I think because we have not addressed the gun violence in America effectively, more and more people are seeing other people committing mass shootings, getting charged, going to jail, or killing themselves. And our representatives are not doing something about it. Though I will say that the Democrats the other day did submit an assault weapons ban bill. They submitted it. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California and Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy of Connecticut. They are the sponsors of this assault weapons ban that seeks to prohibit the commercialization, distribution, production, and importation of assault rifles and other firearms designed for use in military, that were designed for use in military operations. So they're looking to at least get that off the shelf. If people aren't in the military and they don't have a need for an assault weapon, why do you have it? You don't need it. You don't need it to hunt. You got a rifle.
Yeah,
So we have a lot that needs to be done about this, and we'll see how this progresses through the Senate and then to the House. Beside all the sadness, the upbeat thing that occurred today was the announcements of those who are being considered for an Oscar. I think it's going to be a tough time to choose. The first Marvel movie to be considered for an Oscar is Wakanda Forever, with Best Supporting Actress going to Angela Bassett. She got that nod. But I think also the movie that got the most nomination is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
yeah.
With
11.
11 nominations. And is it Michelle Yay? That
Michelle,
everyone's
Michelle Yeoh, yep, best
yo
actress. She's the front
can
runner.
I could never she is I have not seen this movie yet, but I've heard and read the reviews on this movie and they said it's wonderful. And so it's something that I'm going to have to see.
Oh yeah.
And also the Fablemans. Who's the Fablemans? I don't remember that movie.
That's actually Spielberg's movie, and it's kind of like an autobiography, semi-autobiography story about his life, his childhood, is which
Oh, okay.
yeah, and that got like 7 nominations.
That got
So
yes. And then Maverick, usually Top Gun gets some top nominations, and they got very few. I mean,
well, you know what? I think it did get Best Picture, so that's pretty good considering the first Top Gun didn't get any kind of nominations. Well, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. It got nominations for like song and stuff, but the first Top Gun didn't get any kind of major nominations. So it is an improvement over the first one.
true, but I think also if you look at over the list of everything that's been nominated for, whether it's a technical Oscar or music, makeup, what have you, it's a very impressive list of movies.
Yes.
But also very historical. All Quiet on the Western Front,
Yes, I got remade
Elvis,
again.
yes,
Yeah.
Batman. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Babylon.
Yeah. The Banshees of Inisherin, that got 9 nominations. A lot of them
I
went
don't
to.
remember that movie. I really don't.
Well, you know what? It's kind of like a dark comedy drama, sort of like that.
Okay.
It was definitely an interesting movie. I'll just leave it at that.
You know what was left off this list?
What?
Woman King.
Yes, actually, I was thinking about that. No Best Directing nom. Gina Price Blythewood. She did a fantastic job, but they left her out. They left the screenplay out, and they left Viola Davis out,
Yes,
which which
she did
I
a
have no
phenomenal
idea
job.
why. She got
They
nominated in every other trade award except for this one,
mm-hmm.
which is a shame. But and they also left off and I can't remember the actress's name, but she was the lead in the Emmett Till movie. She played Mammy Till, and I can't remember the actress's name
Oh,
right now, but
yes,
they left her
yes.
out, even though she was getting nominations in like all the other awards. So those are definitely 2 snubs, if of mine.
But you know what? I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
surprised either, unfortunately.
the Oscars are very good at snubbing women. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, they snubbed
Especially black women. So
especially black women. I
yeah.
mean, they would snub women all the time for the director's bid.
Oh
Barbara
yeah.
Streisand, who should have gotten it at least 2 times,
Yeah.
got snubbed. And
Yeah.
then, but black women, they got snubbed. Even though Anna
Yeah.
Duvet got it last year, she got a
Actually,
nod.
actually, Ava DuVernay hasn't gotten well. She got nominated for like best documentary for the 13th, but she's never gotten like a best directing nomination, which I thought she should have gotten for Selma. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yes, it is. So
Yeah.
that is all the chocolate news that I have for today, but we'll do a lot of follow up, and then we'll be screaming next week when the Bengals take on the
Yes.
Chiefs and
Yes.
stomp all over them again. Not be a close
Don't
score.
jinx it now. Don't jinx it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, not stomp, but show the old man, that's Patrick Mahomes, versus the younger Joe Burrows, what it means to be a football player.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. Always a pleasure.
Ah,
Okay, so now we're going to head on to the second part of the podcast with our special guests, Chef Catrina Mills and Chef Liz Rogers. I want to talk to Chef Mills first, and she was on our podcast in December, giving us some food ideas for the holidays and everything. So we wanted to check up on Chef Mills and see how she's doing. So how are you doing, Chef Mills? How have you been since the holidays?
I'm good. I'm good. We came into the new year very well. I don't do New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, but like Andrea, I'm looking at my bourbon bar, had to restock and kick that off in the right way. So yeah, we cook with bourbon too. So I won't
oh, and I
sound like
got
a
a
total.
new one too.
See, we are on it, aren't we?
Uh, Uncle Nearest Rye. That's all
Yeah,
I'm going to say. It's very good. So
yeah. There's again that excellence. They're rocking it. So yeah, I'm excited for all the new expressions and just finishing up. So you did ask me, John, that about I have some changes, like a big career shift. So I'm kind of gonna suspend the independent stuff that I've been doing because I am now the executive chef for the Prime Group Steakhouse Italian concept. So that it's going to be primo Italian steak in Middletown. So I'll be focusing on that once I wrap up this current cohort that'll be graduating soon for the Finley Culinary Training Program. And I'll still be doing my seasonings and spices, but the catering and meal prep and personal chef and all of that, that's gonna get suspended for a while.
So you said you're the head chef, and right at the
Executive chef, yeah.
executive chef. So does that mean you get to create the menu too?
I will. I was brought in after the menu creation process because it all happened so quickly. Because they discovered how awesome I am and brought me on board. But so I will have input going further, and we'll have they have just like the Prime Cincinnati location. They have like a secret speakeasy and bourbon club. This one is going to have a speakeasy also. So we'll be having some different menus created. So going forward, I will be involved in that part, and of course, responsible for executing all of it. But Chef Sean, who was led the main steakhouse concept, he had already gotten a head start, and they went to Italy and done research and all that. So it's going to be authentic Italian. So he got a head start on the menu, and then once we start finalizing it, of course, I'll put my touches on it, and we'll go from there.
I can't wait to eat there because and especially because I know Chef Mills. I know I know you're all good. So it's like I can't wait to dine there.
Yeah, I'll be happy to have you. I'll buy you a drink.
Thank
okay,
you.
I'm waiting. Food. I love Italian food, and I want to see what the speakeasy is all about. So I'm looking forward to when it opens.
Soon.
Very soon. All right. You heard that, listeners. If you're in the Cincinnati area, drive up to Middletown, eat at the restaurant, and of course, we'll put all the restaurant details in the bio of this episode. And now I want to talk to Chef Liz Rogers. How are you doing, Chef?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now there was an article in December. It's talking about your new brand of ice cream, Creamalicious. Am I correct?
Great.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Creamalicious brand?
Yeah, so we have a super premium kind of ice cream that's kind of like a take on Alamo, Southern flavors. It's really a good brand. And there's no ice cream on the market like it, and it is national. And last week we did launch creamers, coffee creamers that are in Walmart and Meijer as well.
That sounds delicious. So how many shops is the how many places is the Creamalicious ice cream being sold at right now?
Well, the Creamalicious brand is sold at Walmart, Kroger, Target, Jungle Gym. It's actually sold all over the country. So it is now a national brand. We do have ice cream sandwiches coming out in March. So we have a novelty line as well as a cookie line, a break and bake cookie line in September. So it's been a really cool thing that we've been doing, and we're opening up a Creamalicious dessertery in Atlanta as well with a few people, a few celebrities there in Atlanta as well.
Wow, that sounds great. Now, I know you have a restaurant in Cincinnati, well, I should say Sharonville, Wing
Right.
Champ. How's that been going for you?
Going good. We won the best wings in the state of Ohio by MSNBC News, so it's been
Wow.
going really well. We have our lines of sauces and dry rubs that'll be in Walmart next year with Wing Champ, and it's going really well. We're going to be expanding Wing Champ franchising to Memphis, so we're working on a few things, and also later on this summer, we do have an upscale restaurant coming in Springdale, and it's called Item A Juke Joint. So it's really a really cool concept, tapas, and it's really, really heavily entertainment. So
That's great. Now, before we went live, you were telling me you had a restaurant, and I'm sorry, you're saying you were coming back from Memphis because you were working at a restaurant in Memphis. I think you said it was Penny
yeah,
Hardaway's.
yeah. So I'm the executive chef of Penny Hardaway's brand, the Nitty Gritty. And so what I do as the executive chef, I actually create the menu and the ideation and recipes and the concept for the actual restaurant. So that's what I really kind of specialize in, is concept and menu ideation and execution. So I'm the executive chef of his brand, and they're going to be expanding and doing some other things as well. So I've been an executive chef for quite some time and just really love what I do. The ice cream is really a cool thing that I've always wanted to do, and just super proud of just how it actually came together. So Creamalicious is the first and one of the first and only African American ice cream manufacturers in mass production in the world. And so with the creamers, we're the only and first African American creamer company. So really the whole goal is to really get more minority businesses on the shelf, help other entrepreneurs get on the shelf with their products, and just really open the doors so that we can all have a chance to really live out our dreams.
Okay, well, that sounds fantastic, and I really need to try the Creamalicious ice cream because I was looking at the article, and one of your brands was the one I'm most interested in was the Aunt Poonie's caramel pound cake. That sounded
Yeah.
delicious right there.
Yeah, we're kind of like with Creamalicious. It's a very authentic brand. It's about real time, real people. It's about family, better time, love, togetherness. We're kind of like Disney. We're the storytellers. So my aunt Tony she was my godmother, and she baked all of her pound cakes in a cast iron skillet. So that cast iron skillet was passed down from her mom's mom, and so on and so forth. And when she passed away, it's now with her daughter. And this cast iron skillet is like 150 years old. So it's generational. Creamalicious is a generational brand, and it's really each one of those clients, they tell a story.
Gotcha. Well, that's all I got. Andrea, did you have any questions or anything?
No, I don't. I'm just anxious to taste the I've had the ice cream before, and I'm waiting on the ice cream sandwiches because it's tough to make a decent ice cream sandwich. So I'm just waiting to see what she does, Chef Liz does with this. I mean, it's I'm looking forward to it.
Our ice cream sandwiches they're artisans, so they're all handmade. So really partnered with some really great food scientists and chefs. So what we did was we did launch 3 flavors. So you'll have the banana pudding one, and then we have a strawberry crunch, and then we have a so I wanted to do flavors that don't exist. I didn't want to do a chocolate chip or anything like that. So I don't like doing things that's already on the market. That's why you don't see a vanilla pint of ice cream for Creamalicious. Just kind of just really create our own niche and our own dessert category, so that we're just competing with ourselves.
Nice. I'm liking that. That is nice.
Well, we got to wrap it up, but thank you, Chef Mills, for coming on. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to just be able to have a little bit of camaraderie, and we support each other, support our own. We need more of that.
Yes. And thank you, Chef Rogers, for coming on too. Greatly appreciate it. Congrats on the Creamalicious ice cream.
Thank you, and congrats to you, Chef Mills. I'll be there to see you and support.
Thank you. And tell me what I got to do now. You come in hand with those muffins. And I'm an ice cream sandwich freak, so I am so looking forward to it. I'm so glad you bringing that out. We need that. Yes.
Yes, it's super dope. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah. And thank you, Andrea, for delivering all of the chocolate news every week. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I was just getting hungry listening to the conversation.
Well, that's it for today's show, everyone. Thank you to all the guests for coming on. And remember, you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. In addition, the Cincinnati Herald is now looking for news distribution and delivery agents. So please contact our publisher, Walter White, at 513-680-7076 for more information. I'm John Alexander Reese.
And I'm Andria Carter.
And have a good day.